Hello everyone, good evening. Welcome to Business Live. Coming up this evening, mining firm Golden Star Resources rules out staff layoff despite sale of Bogosu and Prisia mines. Government approves bailout for civil aviation sector to prevent job losses. And as Muslims mark the Eid festival today, livestock traders lament increase in price due to high exchange rates. You have the details plus many more coming up shortly after this break. Welcome back to the holiday edition of Business Live. I am Sandra S. and I'm up in our first story tonight. Mining firm Golden Star Resources has ruled out layoffs when new owners, Future Global Resources Limited, begin operations on the Bogosu and Prisia mines. Earlier this month, Future Global Resources Limited reached a deal with Golden Star Resources to acquire the two mines for $95 million. There are, however, fears that most workers could lose their jobs when the new owners take over from September. But speaking to Joy Business from London, the Group Chief Executive of Golden Star Resources, Andrew Wary, says layoff is off the table.
The problem for the new owner, if they do that, is then they just don't have the people to comply with the plan. So, you know, as I said the other day, the word guarantee is quite a strong word, but I think you know what I mean in the sense that, you know, we have contracts, and I think that's your guarantee that anybody will respect your contract. But I think beyond that here, as I said, we've got someone that really, if they don't execute on the plan, and we've got a very clear plan, and they don't have the people to do that, then they're not going to be successful. And they know that. So they don't have any intentions to come and start cutting people. It would make no business sense for them to do that. They can't grow that asset. And if they bring, you know, they're going to have a look at the old refractory material that's there, that's a resource, it's not being mined currently, and do some study work, particularly with the price of gold where it is. If they decide that they want to take that forward, well, they need more people, not less, because there is no one doing that work currently. So, you know, I think there's potential. They've got to do the work, they've got to study, they've got to make the decision. But, you know, that's really, they want to build a business. And I think if you're working at Bogosu Prisia, that's the important thing. You've got somebody here that understands mining, they want to build a business, they need mining skills. And if I was an employee, you get a new employer, you show them what you're worth. You show them you can do that job, and that's going to create opportunity for you. That's, to me, the way you approach any job. I want to show my boss that I'm good at my job, and then hopefully I create opportunity for myself.
So, Wary, again, one would ask that, why didn't you close this gap when you closed that deal with this new investor? That, listen, after it was signed and sealed and it was delivered, you communicated to the staff that, listen, this is the new approach. Let me know those who want to go on with this new bus and those who want to get off. So you pay them their severance and then they move on and go, than to leave this severance argument and payment to this new investor, which, if I'm a worker of Golden Star Resources, I'm still not assured of my fate, despite the argument that they are going to respect contracts and rules govern takeovers and these companies' operations.
I think you mentioned it, the contract. The contract is important that people have. And the word is severance. Now, if I decide tomorrow I don't like working at Golden Star anymore, I'm going to go, no one's going to pay me any severance.
Government has approved a stimulus package for the aviation sector. This is expected to come in form of support for workers and financial relief for firms operating in the sector. Speaking to Joy Business at the handing over ceremony for the Director General of the Ghana Civil Aviation Authority, Sector Minister Joseph Kofi Adda added that the passage of the Accident Investigation and Prevention Bureau Bill will pave way for the establishment of a dedicated bureau mandated to investigate all aviation incidents and accidents in the country. My colleague Bismarck Awusa has more.
The Accident Investigation and Prevention Bureau bill, according to the Aviation Ministry, seeks to turn what is currently an office that resides in the Aviation Ministry into an autonomous accident investigative body that is well-resourced to carry out its mandates, devoid of undue influence by the industry regulator, the Ghana Civil Aviation Authority, and the sector ministry. Joseph Kofi Ada is the Minister for Aviation.
Who the commissioner would be, who the key division heads would be, those are the next steps. And of course, they will take on to themselves the ACAO practices that they would build into the old operational standards to apply. And those are all working tools that will take place not too long going into the future. So it is the president now that will have to accept the bill into law. Once that is done, we engage, go through executive search, engage those who manage the bureau, get it all set up. Now we've got an office space. We're going through the procurement process of equipping the office of all the things they need to work with.
Mr. Ada also revealed a stimulus package which is expected to prevent job losses and provide financial reliefs for firms operating in this sector has been approved by government.
The Minister of Finance has approved a facility with the Consolidated Bank of Ghana, to which the agency would have to liaise to get the support they need to be able to maintain their staff. So that's been done in the first place. The agencies themselves, Civil Aviation Authority, Airport Company, they have also been able to extend other privileges to the operators at the airport. They've given them free rent and they've reduced the landing charges and so on and so forth. Those are standard things going on, and the operators are happy about it. Oh, I can't give you the details now, but as I said, some of them, the main thing is simply on the compensation scheme to keep the staff so that there's no layoff, there's no dismissal. That's the main thrust of it. Yeah. It's left with the agency to negotiate with them.
The handing over ceremony saw Charles Kreku take over from Simon Alote as Director General of the Ghana Civil Aviation Authority. The new GCAA boss has been challenged to take the authority a notch higher. Bismarck Awusa's report for Joy Business.
Government has been urged to consider proposals to allow medical practitioners advertise themselves in their medical facilities. Some years back, the Ghana Medical and Dental Council indicated that the request was under consideration following agitations that the regulations relating to medical practice and advertising was formulated in 1972 when the country was under a military regime, and which is inconsistent with the 1992 constitution. But speaking to Joy Business at the CIMG evening with a personality, cosmetic surgeon Dr. Davis Adeji says the proposal is long overdue.
Elsewhere, you want to know who you are going to, the background of the person, the expertise, because we all have our own specialized areas. So if you say people shouldn't, tell people the level of experience that they are, then you are getting people to, that's why you get other people to have a field day. And then also the regulation, I think, is an issue. If all health, related of, associations were brought under one roof, then we can all have the same code of ethics, the same, level playing field, and I think that would help a lot as well.
But do you have any idea why you think this regulation has come?
Sorry, which regulation?
The fact that doctors are not supposed to advertise.
I still think that some people have the edge over others, but the world has come so far. Abroad, you're allowed to find, if you're going for fibroid surgery, you want to find out how many he has done, to know that you're going to the safest person that you want to have the surgery done with. It's just an example I'm giving. So people should be able to do it, and then patients should have choices, basically. Who your surgeon is, or your doctor is. And that's the way forward. People in the States, everywhere, people will advertise and say, look, we've done so many cases of this. At the end of the day, the patient will have to make their decision who to go to. Yeah.
So you think there is a need to review this law?
Absolutely. It's too long overdue. It must be reviewed. It must be. I'm sorry. It's too archaic. Yes.
You're still watching Business Live, and as Muslim mark the Eid al-Adha festival today, livestock traders lament increase in cost of animals as a result of high exchange rates. The traders who import these animals from neighboring countries like Burkina Faso told Joy Business that the exchange rate has affected cost of the animals, as a large size of sheep previously sold for 1,500 cedis is now selling as high as 1,600 Ghana cedis.
All the same, what I heard from them complaining this time is the CFA, the CFA is higher. Buying the CFA to go and buy the animals, we did buy them within the neighboring countries of this, and most of the countries they buy the animals are those who are using the CFA. For example, Burkina, Niger, Mali, that's where they buy the animals. And mostly they use the CFA to go and buy the animals. So I think the exchange rate has given them a problem this time. So that is why the animals are costed. Because we used to buy to kill the one we bought last year, maybe 1,000 Ghana cedi or 1,002 Ghana cedi. So we left maybe 1,500 this year, 1,800, 3,000. For example, this big ship there, they are telling me 3,000 something.
We are just there. All of us, we are standing. No one is coming to buy. If they come, they'll say the money is high. The money is high. The money is high. The CFA is very high. We can't bring the animals here. Everything is spoiling. Nothing is in the country. This one is 2,600.
2,600. Okay.
And this one is 2,800.
Okay.
Previously, last 4 years, it wasn't like this. We could get something like this, 1,500. But now, because of the rate of the coronavirus and they've closed all the borders, CFA is very high. So this one like this, you can't sell it less than 2,000.
Okay.
So that's the problem right now.
So some of the animals going for as high as 3,000 Ghana, so that's quite high. But moving away from that, telecom giant MTN says it will clamp down on mobile money merchants who charge a legal fee for transactions. The company added that customers should also report merchants who charge them for illegal fees. I have been engaging the manager, AML, compliance and analytics of MTN Ghana, Godwin Tamaklo, earlier on the marketplace.
Our agents play a very significant role in the success of mobile financial services across the world, and we commend them for working with us over these years. But then within the mobile financial services ecosystem, whatever we do is regulated by law. So all our activities are supposed to be within the confines of the law. The Payment System and Services Act, when we look at Section 91, subsection 2B, it indicates that agents are not supposed to charge any unapproved fees. And the approved fees are those that MTN or any of the mobile money service providers post on their website or make for people to know that these are the fees you are supposed to pay for the service. So if an agent decides for any reason to charge more than what has been stated, then it's an issue. We also have a commercial agreement with them. That is when we are bringing them on board, we have a commercial agreement with them, and in the agreement, under sanctionable activities, we indicate that agents are not supposed to charge unapproved fees, and these are extracts from the law. So when you do that.
In other news tonight, players in the tourism and creative arts space could soon enjoy some incentives in the form of tax reliefs. Minister for Tourism and Creative Arts Barbara Otin-Jesse told George Wiafe that this is part of several measures being considered to assist the sector in these COVID-19 times. She spoke to him on PM Express last night.
Although we are trying to look at how activities can happen, we also have to look at how we can support them to do something which they can showcase when the COVID is over. So we are lending support through the NBSSI cap 600 million that the government announced. Some of our people are assessing it. We have also launched the Ghana Tourism Development Project funding, grant funding, which is going to the sector. They will also get support through that, and they can sit and look at how they can undertake some projects, which, when COVID is over, they can showcase in a big way and to help us drive tourism. So I think that it's a two-way street. Whilst we are looking at what we can do now, we are also supporting people to get ready for later.
I know that some will say that, listen, a German wants to go to our hotels, wants to visit our restaurants, wants to go to our shops and all the rest, but some are saying that it's quite expensive. I mean, what are you also doing at your ministry at your end to try and drive down the cost? Because it has to do with the fact that if I spend so much in operating the facility, investing in the facility, I'm paying tourism fund, tourism levy, I'm paying these taxes and all the rest. Obviously, I have to pass on that cost to George Yafi, who wants to come and just spend some small time with his family at the hotel.
Yeah, that is an issue that the industry, the various associations have raised with the ministry, and we are looking at how best we can streamline some of these taxes and levies to make it easier on the businesses in the sector. So this is a conversation that we are having, and but definitely it is something that will also will land on the table of the Minister of Finance as we go forward. So
you're still watching Business Live. You're back with more after this break. Welcome back to Business Live. Now, if you are a state enterprise worker, sorry, because I have some bad news for you. Your bonuses, allowances, per diem, and other entitlements have been scrapped. This comes after government directed all state enterprises to cut down their expenditure by about 30%. So far, 18 out of 28 state-owned enterprises are projected to lose in excess of 2 billion cedis by the end of 2020 due to the impact of COVID-19. Director General of the State Institutes and Governance Authority, Stephen Asamoah Boateng, has been speaking to my colleague Charles Aite.
No, short for before COVID, we projected revenues to come in. I mean, in terms of dividend of 1.2. So that was a good projection that we made. That was last year, coming to early part of the first January. The first quarter figures show that we were going down, and that's where we started revising the notes. And then, of course, the president gave indication that we all have to look at the plan B and how we revise our notes. And cabinet obviously had to look at all the enterprises cutting back and redrawing their programs. And so we had to engage them in what we call the COVID impact of COVID assessment programs. We met all of them, and we could see that they all drop in revenue. So there was no way the dividend that we projected was going to come in.
This was an interview that you granted one of the media houses, I think somewhere like 2 weeks ago, a few days ago, and you made it quite clear that it should be dealt with on a case-by-case basis by all the state entities, because some are not doing that bad, but generally across board there is an expectation of about 25 to about 30% drop in budgets. But you haven't, as at now, helped us understand the exact amount, the benchmark when it comes to the capping of expenditure. To what percentage are SOEs expected to cut down the expenditure?
Well, we've been looking across board. About 30% cut down happened, but we are just in the second quarter. We just finished the second quarter, so the management accounts are yet to come in. I've seen a couple, about 3 of them have come in. So you can't just use 3 to generalize. My belief is that by the third quarter, we can give you a very firm figure as to how far they've cut back. But projecting from March, we projected about 30% cutback.
And is this going to include the, the slash of job, salaries, job cards? What exactly is the expenditure cut going to include?
Well, what it means is that some areas where there were bonuses awarded are going to suffer, where increases in salaries may also be affected. But in terms of job cuts, not really. I haven't had any of my SOEs coming back and projecting cuts in jobs. So that is luck for us. We're grateful to their way of prudently managing within the confines of what they are faced with. And so no job losses so far have picked up. But in terms of the bonuses and allowances, we're looking at cutting some of them back. It's just to be able to manage within our limited resources.
Watch out for the full interview on Monday to be on Business Live at 5 p.m. Away from that, government has secured some funding from the World Bank to help with the establishment of job placement centers in the country. Deputy Employment Minister Bright Rekubrobe disclosed this at Joy Business Job and Salaries Roundtable. He added that they should help deal with unemployment in the country.
We have already had approval with World Bank granting us, it's a holistic package of about $200 million, 30 or so of which is coming to the Employment Ministry to refurbish, among other things, our public employment centers. We hope in this process to refurbish 16 centers and targeting one in each region to ensure that the young graduates go there, key in their qualifications and so on, and then we do job matching and link them to jobs. Oh well, it's once it's taken under the budget, it's going to be rolled out. Already everything is fashioned out. The project is rolling out from January 2021. The other one is the insurance for the unemployed that we talked about, but that needs to really think through and then come out with modalities on how to roll this out. The Social Partnership Council is the one in charge at the moment. That is the tripartite constituent, the employers, the labor, the government sitting together to do a solid brainstorm and to come up with the modalities how to roll this out. And we are sure one constraint is data. And as we battle it out and get data, modalities to run around in the absence of data, how to get people, benefiting from this kind of thing. So it's kind of a work that will go on beyond what he has mentioned. We need to look at it very well.
And that's how we wrap up the holiday edition of Business Live. I'm back at 7 on JoyNews Prime with more business. But do stay home, stay safe, and stay beautiful. And happy Eid al-Adha to our Muslim brothers and sisters. Thanks so much for watching.